whoop-de-doo.
It's
where
like,
I come from,
go ahead,
I understand that we come from two different places. And I think that our black leaders should start spreading a different message than if I throw my whole life away, whoop-de-doo. And you know who the number one liar is in music? Is the civilian like me that signed to a street like you. His dad carried it a certain way, and now you putting that onus on him. And when it's time to show up like that, he can't show up like that because it's not in his fucking fabric.
All right, y'all. Y'all know we had to see what the Podfather had to say about this Young Thug interview with Big Bank. Y'all better like the video. You better subscribe. Let's get into it right now.
And yo, all right, so the first 30 seconds, I was like, what the fuck Joe got me watching, right? Because I was like, I wanted to hear Thug, but I was like, who is this interviewer? Because I was like, this don't seem like a traditional interview. He was amazing.
He was amazing.
Like, I'm familiar with him from Big Facts.
Okay.
But him by himself with all this knowledge, this wealth of knowledge of all this Atlanta shit. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And I love the tone he set from the interview from start to finish.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. From start to finish. It wasn't just an interview. It was, you could tell this person cares about you.
Yeah, it was therapy. Damn near.
You're talking to somebody that cares about you, that cares about Atlanta, that cares about some of the people that are adversarial to you. Mm-hmm. Like, it was great. This might have been my favorite piece of content since the Cat Williams shit.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I don't even, so many plays, it's so much I took from this sit down. I don't even know where I want to start. But what he took from that, even with the story about his sister, him wearing his sister's clothes.
Yeah.
And then she had to damn near drop out of school. It's like, he's painting a very vivid picture up top.
Yeah.
And what he took from that, like when he watched his brother die, like he took that as the holy grail.
Yeah.
Of, this is how we rocking now.
Yeah.
I want to start with one. I feel him. Mm-hmm. Like, now that he's spoken for himself.
Me too.
He said a lot.
All of the interviews I saw.
He went over a lot. And even if I disagree with some of the things that he said and some of his trains of thought,
you can see how he got there.
I feel him.
I understand.
You can see how he got there.
And understand how he got there. It's not foreign to me. Also, I want to say, he's brilliant. I always say that there's going to be some people from different walks of life that may not carry it the way you're used to them carrying it for society to identify you a certain way. You're going to run into the people with all the words. You're going to run into the people with all of the degrees. You're going to run into the people with all the experience and the worldly travels. Some people process information differently. Mm-hmm. His processor is different.
Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. That's what I got very early on in this. The way that he processes and retains information and then executes how to go about that in this whatever adaptation is that he created is brilliant. It is. From all of that street shit to carrying it to all of the record label shit
to the business,
to identifying talent, to helping the talent, to helping. That's the other thing that stood out for me about him. And he said it. You can tell that he gets off helping others.
Yeah. Yep. And it makes sense of a lot of the phone calls that we've seen in regards to looking at people funny for not putting people on. You know, hearing it, people were alarmed, and how dare you talk about so and so like this? But he's really about that.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Well, I'm not quoting him, but he basically said there were days in there that I was hopeless and I didn't have optimism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I lost track of who I was, my character, and I was just talking.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
Yeah. Honesty. Accountability.
Vulnerability.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. I totally understood that. Yeah. I got a lot of points to get to with this. I'll start with some of the more lighthearted points.
I already know.
Come on.
I'm just starting with, I do have serious points to get to.
Okay. Got you.
And this is serious too, but it's just on the lighthearted side of things. And y'all know me so well.
Yep.
There's something to be said for those of y'all that are still fucking women that are starstruck. That phone call with homegirl, where I can't believe y'all are still fucking girls that are starstruck. This is the same girl that had a fight with your girlfriend in a club. This is the same girl that your girlfriend has caught charges over. If you telling me that you him, no, that's not the girl that you should be having phone sex with while you in jail.
That's crazy.
What if you look at
Nigga.
No,
Joe,
I'm not crazy to anybody that want to keep their girl.
This is the point. I'm looking at life.
You can't whoop-dee-doodle. Hey, he said it. Hey, oh, great.
No. Stop. I know what he said about that. I'm talking about I'm in jail. These niggas in jail be writing the same exact letter to 40 girls. They tell every girl, you know, when I get out of here, it's me and you. I'm tired of the rest of the playing the games. I know I was doing you X, Y, Z. It's me and you till the wheels fall off.
And you can't do that to the girl that already fought your girl and has charges pending with your girl.
You are bugging.
No,
you are sitting here thinking with this logical brain,
You
like
thinking
you
with this
outside,
free brain. That's
like
what you
you
thinking.
outside
You
free
thinking with a free
moving
brain.
around.
No, I'm thinking with the brain of somebody that wants to keep their girl. And from what it looks like.
Never coming home.
Yo, don't life jail me to death, because clearly you are willing to sacrifice that, and we'll get to that point later. But don't start, I'm facing life in jail me to death. Well, that's the other thing that I'm a huge fan of in listening to him. And just men across the country that put some type of stock, or I'm saying that wrong, that put all of the stock in just being a man. I admire that. Now, how that comes through for each individual is different. Sure. So then it starts becoming about what is your perception of being a man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a monolith.
We're not a monolith. But it starts at being able to put tons of stock in being a man.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some people that is old school now. All you have is your balls and your word. That's an old school thing, but it means something. You can tell listening to him that if you take everything off the table, being a man has a lot of value.
Right.
Yeah. True.
And for him, what I took from him was that starts at taking care of your family.
Yeah. He reiterated that a lot.
Yeah. He kept
It starts there. He mentioned it when he was talking about his back and forth with Lucci.
Mm-hmm.
He said, yo, I told him I would do something to him if not for how he took care of his family. I wasn't trolling. I meant that. He is important, how he provides, how he takes his kids to school. He said the same thing with P, who he said Oppie shit about, but he said, I like that about P. He's taking care
of his kid,
of his family. I love that about Thug. For my civilian ass, it contradicts street code. Because I would think that you need to be there. Step one is being there for your family. I would love to ask him how he honors that so much, but is willing to sacrifice it for so little. That's one of the conundrums I've always had with street niggas.
Chin up, fuck that nigga. If we go to prison for the rest of our life, what they do? We go to prison, nigga.
That statement don't exist in the universe I'm talking about.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Again, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying for a lot of people,
how cavalier that statement is even made. Whoop-dee-doo.
It's
where
like,
I come from, I understand that we come from two different places.
Saying, well, go ahead.
Like I'm having this conversation from where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as, and I think that our black leaders should start spreading a different message than if I throw my whole life away, whoop-dee-doo. And what are the virtues that I'm willing to do that over?
Sure.
That we need a redo in that.
Sure.
We do need a redo in that.
I agree.
In his version of things, it's a lot more love and a lot less business. So he's saying multiple times how he's never made a dime off of Gunna's business. He said all he's done is spent money. Yeah. Actually, let me start here. I understand his beef with Gunna now that he has explained it. Yeah. I do not agree with it.
I understand it.
I don't agree with it.
Gotcha.
But I understand it.
And if I'm in his shoes, I might have that same beef.
In his mind, whatever was said on that Alfred plea could have been used in court, and it could have hurt me. And had I not had this gone to trial, that Alfred plea would have come up. That's how he's carrying it.
Yeah.
1. 2, the hurt and the resentment. He said he paid for half Gunna's mother's house that he bought.
The car for the brother, the chain. I took
care of all your people for you.
Everything.
Yeah.
And let you present it however you wanted to present it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I invested all my money in you. I made you a millionaire. You did the Alfred plea. You didn't communicate with me about it. Like, you don't think you owe me an explanation. That's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
You don't think for as tight, hold on, let me just finish. For as tight as we were, for you to do that, 1, you don't think you owe me an explanation. 2, if we don't talk, you got out and didn't go by my mom's house.
Right.
Yeah. You got out and didn't go drop some money off to my family.
That was big.
So I identified with him in that.
Or
I can identify with that. Hey, anybody in the world can say whatever they want. I'm talking about him to Gunna, you should be the last person.
Now,
I want to highlight that. Yo, my dad put us both on a group thread against my wishes, but now you got my new number. You know how to reach me. Yeah. You know how to move with some of this stuff, and it's just not being done.
And your album went crazy when you first got out. You went on tour. You successful. Niggas, go drop $1 million. Go drop 100,000, 200,000, whatever the fuck you gonna drop off. Drop it off to my mother.
I feel him on that. I'm not saying he's right. I feel him. I understand him, and in his position, maybe I say the same thing. In my position, I can't say that.
Tell me why.
Why? Ooh, wait. Go ahead.
For the same reason that I condemned Shotty and them for what they went through with 6ix9ine. Y'all inherited someone that was not from where y'all are from, was not street, didn't know these codes, lived by these codes. Y'all painted him to be a certain way. And when it came time for shit to get thick, he revealed who he is, which was a little Mexican kid from the outskirts of Brooklyn or whatever.
Not this.
So now,
different scenario.
That's different.
And I'd love to finish.
Let him finish, please.
I'd love to finish.
Let him finish.
We just talking.
Yeah.
Thug goes on to say, everything I did for you was because your dad was my OG. That's why I'm looking out for you this way. Before he died, he told me, yo, take care of my son. Wherever you go, take him with you. I'm following the orders given to me. The fuck? In that, if you was that tight with his father, because that is how you painted it, and y'all had that talk about this kid, then this kid is not next to you because he's so street. Actually, it's quite the opposite. This kid is with you because dad said, hey, you know what time it is.
Look out for this one.
He actually went on to say, see, this is where he contradicted himself a few times. He went on to say, I'm judging you like a street nigga. What you say in your raps and what you portray in your raps and the things I hear you say around me, you talk like a street nigga. I think that totally contradicts what you should have known from being close with his dad. Not the same. This ain't no street nigga. And for Thug to say, I'm taking your portrayal as such, goes against everything that's happened in hip-hop from the fucking start of it. Niggas get on these songs and lie. You cannot strip an artist of the ability to get on a song and tell a lie. And you know who the number one liar is in music? Is the civilian like me that signed to a street nigga like you.
Yeah.
That is the number one liar in hip hop. You ain't about to change the course of shit from how you view things. No, you was moving a certain way. His dad carried it a certain way, and now you putting that onus on him. And when it's time to show up like that, he can't show up like that because it's not in his fucking fabric.
All right, man. Them boys gave us a deep breakdown of this interview, and it was a really good interview. And shout out to Bank. If I haven't said anything about the way Bank conducted that interview in any of my content, my bad. But he did do a good job, and he was playing the role of the OG that a lot of these street dudes need out here. So shout out to Bank and shout out to Big Facts Network. Look, it was a couple of things that Joe said that caught my eye. When he said it was obvious to him that Young Thug gets off helping people. And I think I said something along those lines in a couple of videos. You know, can we really get mad at Thug for holding people to this standard of who did you help? And I think I categorized it as Young Thug is one of those people that believes in black wealth, right? Keeping the wealth within, you know, the family or the group, or making sure, you know, everybody around you is eating. It used to be a thing in hip hop where people would praise the fact that one rapper would make so many other people successful, right? Because, you know, now he's helping his family, his friends, so on and so forth. And that was something we would cherish in the industry. But then you do have people who might be outliers and it doesn't look like that for them. But also I want to point out, we don't know what everybody is doing in their personal life and who they giving money to. It is some people who do stuff without trying to get the fanfare. It is some people who help people without taking the credit. Every day we find out about something somebody did for another artist years ago that we never heard of. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I was the one who did this. I was the one who did that. The other day, I never knew that Gucci signed Young Thug. And I've never really heard Young Thug talk about when Gucci signed him. And Gucci signed Young Thug and he let him go when he wanted to go somewhere else and become successful. They said Gucci signed a lot of people, but that's not something that Gucci is always screaming to the top of his lungs. So you do have people who do stuff and they don't expect the fanfare. So I do just want to say that for some people, help isn't always the help you see on Instagram or the Drake God Plans video where he just walking around giving out money. But I did think that was a stand-up quality of Young Thug to have. And, you know, do you believe a lot of the things he was saying in the interview? His excuses or his explanations for the phone calls and why he said certain things. And it is a lot of clips floating around where people claim he was contradicting himself. But at the end of the day, I think for a really quick spur of the moment, I need to address these issues type of interview, I think he did do really good. And he seemed like he had a lot to get off his chest. But at the same time, he didn't feel like he was scripted. You know, maybe he did rehearse some stuff, but it didn't look like that to me. It didn't feel like that to me either. Okay? Joe also talked about Young Thug messing with the starstruck girls. Yeah, it was obvious one of those girls was more like a groupie. I never knew the background story about her fighting Mariah the Scientist. Look, I do think it was a bad decision on Young Thug's part. But at the same time, I feel like when you going through that type of situation and you feel like your life is over, you just trying to do anything. I think I said this in the video. You just trying to do anything to take your mind off of your current situation. And a lot of us do that every day when we not in jail. You get high, you drink, you watch TV shows, you go out, you party. It's an escape. And that's what Young Thug was doing in that jail on those phone calls. He was looking for an escape, whether that was talking to females, gossiping, talking shit about other rappers. I think he was trying to escape and get his mind off of his situation because, you know, for a while, it just looked really bad for Young Thug. And every day I would see academics saying, yeah, it don't look like he coming home. You know what I mean? Anyway, the main thing is Gunna and the sadness that he obviously feels when he's talking about Gunna. I think one of the clips I remember is, you know, he said, I don't want to forgive him, but I wish he did something that was kind of like less so I could forgive him. And I know for some people, they listen to that interview and they say it sounds like all they need is a conversation, but it can go any way. Cause a piece of me say, no, it sounds like they should never ever talk or never be in the same room. But then I can also see somebody saying, well, maybe if they did link, you know, start with a text message, get in contact with each other and speak, maybe they could resolve it. But I could also see it going left. I could see them meeting up and shit going left. Because Young Thug seems like he's angry and emotional at the same time. Now, when Young Thug is talking about Gunna came home, didn't help out his family, Young Thug don't just got a mama. He got kids. He got a lot of shit going on. You would think if you got love for him, you would come shell out a couple of dollars. And what I notice about the street rap community, it seems like that's something that they all do, especially in Atlanta. You know, somebody come home or somebody get locked up, they taking care of that person's family, children, baby mamas, wives, etc. And I think that's another reason why Thug was taken aback by Gunna not doing that, because that's probably something they've been doing for years, but all of a sudden now you don't want to do it for me after everything I did for you. And the last part where I cut the clip, because this is a very long conversation on the podcast. They talked about this for well over an hour. Gunna was a civilian. And I do agree with Joe, and I said this in videos before this video. I'm not just copying Joe's answer. I've been said this to y'all. He should have known. Look, I didn't watch the full interview, so I didn't see the part about him saying that Gunna's dad was a street guy and, you know, his dad told him to watch out for Gunna. I didn't see that. But regardless of that, I'm a fan and I'm watching from the house and I'm watching some of them outfits that Gunna was wearing back in the day when he was still chubby and everybody thought he could dress. I'm watching how he move. I'm watching how he talk. He seemed like the outsider hanging out with the street guys. He did not seem like the guy who was going to sit there and take 100 years for y'all. I never got that impression. I don't give a damn what he rapped about. Like, I don't know about y'all. I don't believe a street rapper when I listen to their music, unless they start to show me something where I'm like, okay, I can believe that. The music never does anything for me to say, okay, yeah, I believe you this, I believe you that. What we see in real life, the gun charges, getting locked up, you allegedly putting people down on camera, that's the stuff that makes me believe your raps. It's not the other way around. I'm not listening to raps like, ooh, he talking that junk. I know he a street guy. You know what I mean? So I think Young Thug shouldn't be using that particular part of his Gunna beef as a reason to why he's upset. Everything else you mad about, you got every right. But don't make it seem like you felt like Gunna was this street guy. If we knew it at home, you should have knew it when you was up close. Because I know street guys who got kids who the total opposite of them. I know hardcore street guys that's dealing with having a gay son right now. I know killers going through that right now. So who your father was don't got nothing to do with who you are and what type of man you are and what type of values you have and you going to jail and doing X, Y, and Z. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this, what y'all thought about the podcast take, and check out the rest of the pod. This is another week without Melissa Ford. Queen's Flip was missing too. I'm sure some of y'all been going through the conspiracy theory about the castmates as well. So leave a couple of comments about that. And like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.